Sports Center from the nation's capital. I'm Scott Van Pelt. We'll break down the Thursday night game between the Raiders. It's worth it, right? And the Broncos. Damien Woody is here. We're going to visit with one of the stars of the game. And with game day heading to Lubbock, Texas on Saturday, we thought, let's go to the vault and remember 2008, number 7 Texas Tech knocking off number 1 Texas. And we're going to stay in the fight, signed up for 60 the whole bit. We've got some winners on the card as well. As for the beginning of Week 10 in Mile High City, it's an AFC West battle. Broncos have won 9 straight home games, which is the longest active winning streak at home. And the Raiders have got the ball back in Denver possession. Field position is very good, but not good enough because Daniel Carlson pushes it right. It's still a 10-7 game. That touchdown, they're able to get another first down on the back of J.K. Dobbins, and they get the victory. The Broncos have played 10 games this year. They've trailed at some point in each of them, which is the most in the league this season. Somehow they have 8 victories. 4 teams have trailed 9 times this season, and those teams have combined to win 8 games. All of which is to say, as we welcome Damien Woody, they're 8-2, Damien. 8-2.
Yeah.
That's hard to do in the NFL.
It's very hard to do.
I can't give them their flowers, though, because I'm watching these games, and there are just far too many quarters where they're just not doing any positive work at all on offense. And so I'm flummoxed as to what I'm supposed to think about Denver, and that's why you're here to tell me what I'm supposed to think about Denver.
Well, they have a championship defense.
Okay.
They have that going for them, okay? Outside of a couple quarters, man, the offense has been, they're not even average. They've been pitiful, to be honest with you. Bo Nix you seem like you're on a roller coaster, the Bo Nix experience, and it's all over the place. There'll be times where you see moments of brilliance. There's other times where you're scratching your head like, what is this guy doing out there? And so, listen, between the defense and running the football, J.K. Dobbins has had a good year for the Denver Broncos. R.J. Harvey is coming along. So they got to get the quarterback straightened out. If not, this is not a team that you can seriously see as a team that can represent the AFC.
You mentioned it as we're watching upstairs. There's just too many YOLO throws where you're just chucking it up and seeing what happens.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's not what offense is supposed to look like. That's not what a passing game is supposed to look like. He's just like, he's backpedaling, throwing the ball up in the air. What are we doing here?
I don't know. They've had some incredible fourth quarters at Philadelphia. That was a hell of a win. At home against the Giants, they scored 33 after not scoring any for 3 quarters. But if you watch this game, if you watch the Jets game, if you watch the game against Houston with no Stroud, yes, they win. And again, that's the headline, and it's all that matters. And they win largely on the back of a defense. Now, the Raiders' offense isn't going to frighten anybody, but this Denver defense is rugged and thorough. I don't care home or road. Is it good enough to mask the offense moving forward in the most important games, which begin next week at home against Kansas City?
Well, listen, they have a championship defense, but here's the problem. When you get late into the year and in the postseason, you're going to be facing some dudes.
Yeah.
Okay? Like the Patrick Mahomes, the Josh Allens, Lamar Jackson, those type of quarterbacks. Guess what? They're not afraid of that defense. Mm-hmm. So at some point, Bo Nix is going to have to show up and make plays down the stretch to go out here and compete.
Well, I'm looking to see rush yard. They ran for 84 tonight. Dobbins went for 77 in the end. I mean, it's a cliche, but it's true. You've lived it. If you can run the ball and play defense in the National Football League, you can win games. But you can't do that if your quarterback is kind of just throwing it up for grabs too much, right?
No, you can't do that. Like I said, I'm a former offensive lineman. I've always been a proponent of running the damn ball. But at the end of the day, again, when you're facing some of these elite quarterbacks, your quarterback is going to have to make plays. Mm-hmm. And that's the bottom line with Bo Nix right now.
But you've told me often, and it's the truth, you are what your record says you are.
Yes.
All credit to them. They are 8-2. More context on this game as we continue, and a look ahead to Week 10 in just a bit. A moment of silence in Denver Thursday night before the first game of Week 10 for Dallas Cowboy defensive end Marshawn Nealon, who died late Wednesday night, apparently by suicide. following a police chase which began after officers responded to a welfare concern call at Neyland's residence. Dak Prescott spoke Thursday evening about the emotions of a difficult day.
It's been a very tough day. As you said, it started early this morning, finding out the news. Tragic loss. I hurt. Heavy heart today. I heard for Marshawn. I heard for his family. I heard for his girlfriend. I heard for every single one of my teammates. This is a pain that you don't wish upon anybody. You wish none of us had to go through this. You wish Marshawn didn't have to go through what he went through. And just thankful for each moment we have in this life, and don't take it for granted. And hug and love on those that you do.
The 24-year-old Neyland was a second-round pick out of Western Michigan in the 2024 draft. On Monday night, he recovered a blocked punt for a touchdown in the Cowboys' loss to the Cardinals, a moment seemingly when a young player was on top of the world. But I think of the Robin Williams quote that everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Be kind always. Important perspective offered Thursday by a collegiate coach without an obvious tie to the story other than the only one that really matters, our shared humanity and concern for each other. Here's Nebraska's Matt Rule.
I just think it's a time in this world for us to be kind to people and at the same time care about people and ask about people. Our generation of kids, my kids, they all just say, yeah, I'm fine, I'm straight, and it's just like you really got to unearth it. So I look at road trips and travel, and I look at time together practice as chances to impact young people's lives and try to be around them. And I would encourage everybody to. I would encourage everybody today with your own kids or the people you work with, just check on them, because that young man scored a touchdown just a couple days ago, and on the outside world you'd think he's at the pinnacle, but he's dealing with something, and I don't know what it was, but I pray for him and his family.
As do we. A tragic loss.
Defense is coming in with a lot of struggles. Their last 3 road games, they're giving up 37.3 points per game. You look at this Vegas side of the ball, and I just have to ask, what happened to them?
I mean, this has just been a disaster on the defense. Personnel-wise, maybe they're lacking the guys that they need to get out there. But I will say one thing that makes this a little bit dangerous is you did have the Raiders come up with one of their better offensive performances last week. Like, they got shut out by the Chiefs, and you're thinking this team is a disaster. Then all of a sudden you see Geno Smith throw 4 touchdowns, and Brock Bowers is back in the lineup after he was out. And so he has 3 touchdown catches. And the way both teams are, both sides of the ball were struggling for the Raiders, if you have an already struggling defense and then all of a sudden your offense is doing nothing, it makes you look that much worse. So I think it's been sort of this combustible mix. But I still think we were just talking about the Broncos' issues in the first, half and 3 quarters of games, that if the Raiders come in here and do get that offense going, which won't be easy against the Broncos defense, but if they do and they get Brock Bowers and Geno Smith cooking again, get Ashton Genty a little bit more involved, it could present a challenge. But I do think this is a game where the Broncos should be able to put points up on this Raiders defense, which has been pretty atrocious.
Yeah, Broncos rolling, trying to keep pace in that AFC West with a bunch of teams coming after them. I want to touch on the NFC West, though, for a second here and look at the Arizona Cardinals.